Welcome to the homestead. Oh, I just love the mornings here. It's always so quiet. There's no commuter traffic at all. There's no planes flying over us. Bird song and air conditioner noise. Speaking of air conditioner noise, it's getting hot. As you can see, I have yet to do what I need to do here. Hopefully we're going to be working on that this weekend. Meanwhile, we're still in the temporary spot here, which doesn't give us a whole lot of afternoon shade. It doesn't give us much shade at all. As you can see, we're about to clear the sun's about to clear that, and we're going to be in sun. And even when we get back over here, we're still going to have quite a bit of sun till we get into about the 4:30, 4 o'clock hour, and then we start getting some shade coming off the oak trees. We're expecting to have a really hot summer, and I don't know that we're going to be in the barn, have the building dried in at that by then. So we were exploring ways to provide shade and protection for the motorhome. I looked at doing one of those lower priced carports, and they run about $14,000. This is that. I don't think that's a great investment to put into what will end up being a visitor parking for the most part. Okay, well, what about just stretching a tarp, a good shade tarp, which would require at least 4 posts, maybe 6. It would have to be posts tall enough to get Trudy under, and I calculated I could probably do that project for about $700 if I had to go with 6 posts, $500 if I was doing 4 posts, but then I'd have to build it, put the posts on the ground, which means I couldn't do that until we've got the pad constructed. And then it would be a permanent thing. It would just be here. At some point in the past, I was somewhere traveling in the RV, and I saw a thing on top of an RV roof. And it looked kind of like an umbrella. So I went and jumped on Google, and actually first I started on Amazon looking at RV umbrellas, RV, shade for the RV. That's where I was looking at the tarps. I did a Google for RV umbrella, and one of the first websites that popped up was for a company based here in Texas that manufactures a shade structure for the top of the RV. This is exactly what I needed. As I was exploring the Shade RV website, it's not available on Amazon. They don't offer an affiliate program. So this is straight out of my pocket, but I think it's going to pay for itself because we're all in on this for like $900 with shipping. And I don't have to put a permanent structure in the ground here, and I can take it with us. So when we go on an extended trip during the summer, we can take our shade with us and be way more comfortable. I currently have a third air conditioner set up with a portable air conditioner. I'm really hoping that I can take that out at least until we get into the hottest part of the year by putting this up, because I think it's going to make a huge difference. And I'm going to film the assembly and installation, and we're going to find out how much of a challenge is this? How doable is it? First thing, you're going to be able to get on top of your RV. So if you're not traveling with a ladder, I encourage you to get one. I'm a big fan of folding A-frame ladders And I've got a telescopic A-frame ladder, but that's in the RV. But right now I'm using my big heavy Gorilla ladder. I'm going to use an 8-foot step ladder to get up and down. And I got another project that I may work into this video, provided the material shows up. But for now, let's open this big box and see what's inside. Right off the bat, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like the fabric. So we have shade fabric, we have fiberglass straps, fiberglass rods, and some strap packages. A parts list. No tools required. This is also online on their website. So let me read through this and I'll get back to you. So we're assembling the rod. And now we take, it gives us one complete rod. So each one of these rods has a socket. So a place to put the rod right there. Okay, now I've got to roll it up, but I got to roll it up so it's upside down. I got to figure out how to roll it up so that I can unroll it on the roof. That would have been easier with a second person. Good forearm workout. All right, now that's ready to go on the roof. Now I got to figure out the tie down points. How are we going to secure this to Trudy Thunder? Got to sort through all this to figure out the best way to do it. These are pads to protect the side of the RV. 2 short ones, several long ones. So on the rear, I'm going to use the receiver hitch. The front's a different matter. I think the best place is going to be to, the wheels would be, the rim would be the perfect spot, because that strap needs to be at about a 45-degree angle. Maybe, I don't know. Let me see what I can come up with, and I'll show you. I gotta say thank you to Casey Liddell and Ron Pratt, because I wouldn't have thought of it without watching their stuff. Check it out. Worked out perfect. So let me do the other side, and then we'll go to the rear. So we have a loop on this end, and we're anchored. Now the receiver hitch. Simple. I do have a concern, and that's going to be this side and how that anchors. Well, only one way to figure that out, that's to get up there and do it. Okay, the next step is to start unrolling and tensioning the straps. So I got it tight. Fits in between all my stuff. Got a little platform back here to stand on. Kind of up at the front, maybe a little. Now I've got to figure out how to secure the sides from uplift. Hopefully there's not going to be that much uplift because it's a permeable fabric. What do you think? Don't look too bad. Looks kind of like a old Constanuga wagon, an old covered wagon. Yeah, that ought to help a lot. We won't be using the awning. We never deploy the awning anyway. We're too afraid. We lost one once, so we rarely ever open that awning, except when it's pouring rain. We'll pull it out about 12 inches, 14 inches, so we don't get water blowing in. But we don't ever deploy it for sun purposes. And the way we're currently set up, we're in shade here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. So if you're wondering about orientation, you always want to be pointing. So in a Class C or a Class A, you want to point to the sunrise, if at all possible. That way you don't have the terrarium effect going in the front. And it also, we're having sunset right there. So it catches this corner. Now the slide, that's a bit of a concern for me. But I loop that bracket through. Now that bracket up there is what holds the awning, the slide topper. So we're a little bit on the topper and a little bit on the bracket, and I didn't snug that up a whole lot. The middle ones, ooh, I need to get that off there. We're looped around the frame. I like it. I like it a lot. plenty of room under there for airflow. We've been having an issue with flies. One of the Ratty Pack techs has a neurotic thing about houseflies. He just goes into full-on panic trying to crawl under the passenger driver's seat of the motorhome. We caught him yesterday trying to get behind the built-in recliner sofa because of a fly. One fly drove him crazy. So I have a big fan set up. I have it turned off right now, but that fan keeps a stream of air because they like to congregate on the side of the motorhome for some reason. But we're still getting them in, and right now it's not too bad. But every other day or so, we're just overwhelmed with flies. And I've got rolls of fly paper, and I've got hummingbirds, I've got a Dynatrap, I got a zapper, but none of those seem to do much for the black flies. So I need to create a no-fly zone. You really want one of those, trust me. So I did a little surfing on Amazon. This may not work. I don't know. I want to support what's in here, which is a very large mosquito net. I want to attach it to the side of Trudy. Check out the size of that suction cup. Trudy's got a automotive paint job, so she's super slick. Comes with a couple of stainless steel S-hooks. You clamp that on, and then you have an anchor point. So the plan is to put this right up here, and we're gonna hang that mosquito netting from 2 or 3 of these, maybe 4. Depending on how it all plays out. So that's our suction cup, that's the mounting point on the side. And then we have the netting. So let me go to work. We'll see if we can create a no-fly zone. Well, good morning. Worked several hours yesterday in the heat. Realized I was a little short on idea for one, because originally when I was doing this no-fly zone in my head, it was basically going to be a drape and tape. So when I pulled out all the mesh and spread it and kind of pull it out, I realized, well, I may not have enough to do what I had in my head. And it would be nice if we had some shade on this side of the RV, because it catches that morning sun and heats up the wall. So I ran to town, and as I was going into town, I had an epiphany about some material that I already have, which are the several episodes back on Friday's Finds. I talked about tarps, shade tarps specifically. I have 2 of those. They're very similar to the RV shade thing. So I actually have a small one, and I pulled it out. Small being 8 by 10. And there we go. We have a bona fide no-fly zone. It's not 100% bug-proof, wasn't intended to be. You can see the flies like to hang out on the side of the RV, and they do it right at the door. So when you open the door, you get flies inside. We also want to do some cooking outside. And with the flies being as heavy as they have been, we didn't want to cook outside. But now we have a place to have an outdoor kitchen space. Caught 2 already. I just put this out, 3. We're happy, very happy. Got a little breeze when there's no wind blowing. So I'll provide, I'll add to the Friday's Finds playlist these tarps, because these are great. I travel with 2, because if you need a windbreak, you got one. If you need a shade, you got one. A couple days later, a couple days after those 2 projects, and we've reached the end of this video, but before I closed it out, I wanted to, you know, have some time so I could give you my honest, bona fide opinion. No question, the shade for the RV, that makes a huge difference. You can actually feel the UV rays when you're in the RV, but with the shade, you know, we're not having that. We're not having to run the ACs nearly as much. And the no-fly zone is working like a charm. And now I'm about to find out how simple they are to, or if they work the way I intended, which is easy setup, easy takedown. Because we've got a crew showing up in a couple days to get that done and to dig a trench and run our water. Yeah, so I gotta move Trudy in order to get the big trucks of rock in here. So I gotta break it all down. And yeah, gonna break it all down, relocate her, and next time you see us, we'll be back there. But anyway, if this is your first visit to the RV Homestead Texas channel, I do appreciate you stopping by. I hope you gained something out of it. Some entertainment, I don't know. I hope you got something out of it. I appreciate you. If you've not already, it would really help my small channel grow if you were to click that subscribe button. I'd be most honored if you'd do that. For those of you who have been following along on this channel or on the Dude RV channel, thank you so much for your support. And our patrons, we so appreciate your generosity. You guys rock. All right, y'all come back now, you hear?